What's up guys, it's Lord Botha here with another video, and it seems like every single day there seems to be some new disaster regarding Star Wars Outlaws. This article from Games Radar is entitled Early Star Wars Outlaws PS5 players paid $110 only to have Ubisoft issue a new patch and tell them to start a new save file or face game-breaking bugs. If you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers. So let's take a deeper dive into this article and see exactly how Star Wars Outlaws has messed up players' experience already before it's even official launch to the general public. Star Wars Outlaws is now available for players who spent the extra cash for a fancy edition with early access, but the most eager of those players on PS5 are facing the threat of game-breaking progression issues following a patch that rolled out shortly after launch. The official release date of Star Wars Outlaws is August 30, but if you spent the extra $110 on the Gold Edition or the $130 on the Ultimate Edition, you get 3 days of early access. On PS5, early access began at midnight morning on August 27th in local time zone, and player reports suggest that the patch updating the game version rolled out a few hours after that launch. So if you were grinding and you were playing this game for an extended amount of time, and I'm guessing not checking your email on your computer or your phone, you probably missed the fact that there was a patch that was issued. And my guess is that eager players that wanted to spend the extra money to get that 3-day early access were probably grinding hours and hours and hours in without stopping and actually realizing that their progression was probably going to be fucked. PS5 players who started their games in the window between the early access launch and the release of the patch are now facing the potential of game-breaking bugs. Ubisoft isn't specific about the exact nature of these bugs, but says once the patch is installed, you should start a new save to fully enjoy Star Wars Outlaws as our team intended. If you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers. Now they do say here also that the bug only seems to affect players on the PS5 and only if you started the game before the patch was issued. But still, that might consist of a lot of people who bought the early access of this game. The most interesting part is right here. Eurogamer reports that one of its reviewers was already on the patch a few days before launch, so it's unclear why the update had not yet rolled out to players. So hold on a second. One of the reviewers for this game, who I assume had access to it even before the early access, so he could, write and publish his article, give his review of the game, was already on the patched version of the game to avoid these bugs. But for some reason, when they released the game for early access, they didn't release the patched version of the game? Why would they do that? It's my belief that somebody at Ubisoft, when they released the early access game, they fucked up and they forgot to include the patched version. And they're trying to move on as fast as possible from anybody asking questions about this, because it will further reveal how incompetent they are. Now, Ubisoft has followed up with those players. They've stated here in this article, as an update, we've followed up with the affected PS5 players today to inform them we have provided them with an in-game Trailblazer trinket, as well as 100 Ubisoft Connect units. Well, first thing, as somebody who had Ubisoft Connect, 100 units is pretty much nothing. There are very few minor cosmetic things in games that you can buy with 100 Ubisoft Connect units. As far as the in-game Trailblazer trinket, I have absolutely no idea what that is, but it doesn't sound like anything massive. It sounds like what Ubisoft did for these people was essentially give them the Ubisoft equivalent of a ticket for a free McFlurry. Also, this is not the only problem that's being reported with Ubisoft and this game. I was watching Star Wars Theory last night play this game, and it took him about an extra 45 minutes to try to log into his account to get access to it, because when he played it the night before, he chose to remember his account information. Then when he tried to log in that night, it told him he needed to change his password, and after he did, it told him he was locked out of his account for too many suspicious logins. He then had to wait for about a half hour before being able to try to log in again. Several other players in his chat were also reporting the same kind of problems. Now, this isn't just a Star Wars Outlaw problem, this is an Ubisoft overall problem. The point is, the rollout of this game has been both a disaster from an actual production stance and now a disaster in terms of actually doling out the product to the people who want to play it. It's my estimation that we are probably going to get more game-breaking bugs, more hilarious errors that you've probably seen via videos that people are posting. And this game, despite its large IP, isn't probably going to do well in terms of word of mouth. And I think its sales post-launch are really going to be affected by all the negative press it's getting. Because even though some of the mainstream media reviews of this game have been positive, everybody seeing the videos out there of what this game actually looks like knows that this game is nowhere near the production value it needs to be. But those are just my thoughts on the subject. If you got your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it. We'll talk to you again later.